Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be planning for December and also flipping through all of my spreads from November. I really can't believe that this is the last month of 2019 that will conclude 2 full years of me bullet journaling, which is super exciting. So for November I decided to do a white and light gray theme. So my cover page is supposed to be clouds, but I think I didn't do the best job at painting them, so it kind of just looks like some type of marbly print, but I think it's still pretty regardless. So here is my calendar page for November. And if you guys are interested in watching me plan for November, I will make sure to leave a link to that video in the description box. So on this spread I have my goals and highlights section on the left and my expense tracker on the right, and while I'm filming this it's actually the middle of November, so some of these spreads I still haven't completed, but I have filled them all out, so I will continue to use them throughout November. So here is my first weekly spread. I really like the font I used for the days of the week in this one. Since it was reading week during November, I made a master to-do list for this week, which I put in my bullet journal over here, and then the right hand page just kind of had nothing on it. And here is another weekly spread. This one I used a darker gray and added some more details with that, and I really like how it turned out. And throughout the month actually I started to use darker and darker colors, so as you can see this one is kind of almost just black and white, which I do really like. I always like using black and white in my spread. And I also used some stickers from Jenny Journals in these spreads. So that concludes November, so now we will begin with planning for December. I have a little bit of space left in my bullet journal, which I think will be perfect for one more month. Okay, so now on to the cover page for December. So I started by drawing out this front door with a wreath on it in pencil first, and then I went ahead and started with some acrylic paint. I find this helpful, especially when I'm doing more white and light gray based pieces of art, just because it makes the paint a lot more opaque, especially compared to watercolors, which is what I usually use for the rest of the colors. And once that was dry, I used some black watercolor and I went over top of the acrylic paint for the darker shadows and parts that I wanted to be a little bit more dark, but I also didn't want it to be as harsh as if I would just use acrylic paint. With a red-brown color, I used that to paint the bricks in between the snow-covered steps. So I just started by painting the bricks, and then later on I added a gray watercolor between all of the bricks. And my favorite part of this whole painting was doing all of the greenery. So pretty much I did this just by taking different greens in my watercolor palette and I just dabbed them on with a pretty dry brush, and then I added some details with some red watercolor. After letting it dry, I just wrote December with some calligraphy on the bottom and glued that into my bullet journal. So this is how it turned out. Okay, so the first functional page for this month is my monthly calendar. So this time I decided to put it more towards the left side of the page, so then my title and event section is on the right instead of it being centered. So I did this with a pencil first just to make sure I didn't make any mistakes, which always seems to happen for me, and I measured and marked that off, and then I went over with a fine liner and a ruler just to mark out all of the boxes for each day. For my December title, I used a Tombow Funasoki pen. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. Sorry about that. Anyways, I did this with a red one and I outlined it a little bit darker just to make the title a little bit more bold. And throughout this month, you will definitely see Christmassy themes throughout because December is my favorite month because I love Christmas so much. So I decided to really go all out with that. So I had a lot of fun creating these spreads. So I used some gold washi tape and then I chose a photo which I printed out on photo paper, and I got this from Pinterest. If you guys are interested in seeing any other photos that I use in my bullet journal, I will leave a link to my Pinterest in the description box, and I have an entire board for all of those photos. I added the days of the week with a gold pen on top, and then added an event section on the washi tape, and also went ahead and used a fine liner to add a drop shadow to the title just to make it a little bit more bold. And then with the same red marker, I wrote in all of the days of the month. Later on, I went with a red pencil crayon and just added a light circle around all of the dates. And I also wrote out Christmas on the calendar with the same red marker, which makes me very excited. So this is the completed spread. I also ended up adding a drop shadow around the calendar and a Jenny Journal sticker. And that completes the spread. I really like how these Christmas spreads are turning out, so I am excited to continue the month with lots of Christmassy themed bullet journaling. So next I have my expense tracker on the left hand side and Christmas gift ideas on the right. So I found this really cool little scrapbooking label thing that kind of looks like something you'd put on a gift, so I used that for my expense header. And I sectioned off 4 different boxes for 4 different sections of my expense tracker, and I just used a ruler and fine liner to mark those off, and also added a light gray drop shadow around there. And then with the same red marker again, I just wrote out all of the subcategories for my expense tracker in some calligraphy. And for my gift ideas on the opposite page, I chose some photos that I liked from Pinterest and just layered those on and glued them in with a glue stick. And also added some gold washi tape. For my title, I used the same Tombow marker and just wrote out Christmas gifts in calligraphy. And I also added some more washi tape on the edges and some little doodles with a fine liner. And that is the completed spread. I'm really excited to fill this out throughout the month. And I also added some more doodles and some little Christmassy scrapbooking decorations which I found in my house. And I think they look super cute. So that is that spread. So flipping the page, I have my goals and highlights section on the left and a master to-do list on the right. So I used some of this paper, craft paper at the bottom, and then also a Pinterest photo. For my headers, I made these boxes with a red marker, and then I added this like candy cane type drop shadow to it. At least that's the effect that I was going for. So I just drew some stripes with the same red marker and then colored those in. And then on top of that, I just wrote out goals and highlights with this gold pen that didn't really work, but I was trying to get like a gold effect on there, and that's okay. So I added some gold washi tape around it instead, and also outlined the box with my white gel pen. And on the craft paper at the bottom, I also used the same white gel pen and added some snowflakes to make it look extra Christmassy. And then I also added some more of those scrapbooking decorations. So I have this really cute little gold glitter Christmas tree And then I also used a gold marker to write the bullet points. So on the opposite page, I have my master to-do list, just because it is the last few weeks of school in December. So I have a bunch of things I need to finish up. So I used this craft paper circle and wrote out to-do list with a white gel pen and outlined that with a red pen to make it look kind of like a candy cane. And I don't think I succeeded on this, but that's okay. I also added some doodles around it and filled those in with the white gel pen. And then I used the same Tombow marker in this like pinky red color, the same as the other page, and used that for the headers. And I added in this cute little Christmas picture and taped that in with some gold washi tape. And on top of the red marker lines, I just wrote out the different subcategories of things I need to complete and added some bullet points to color in once I have completed them. So that is how the spread turned out. The last spread to complete in this video is the first weekly one, so I chose some Pinterest photos and I was kind of going for like a Christmassy food theme, so I have some candy or some lollipops and hot chocolate, and I taped those in with some gold washi tape and added this little doodle around it. For the December title, I used the Tombow Food Nosoki pen in red and wrote out December in some calligraphy. And I was going for like another candy cane theme, so I used the white gel pen over top of that and added some candy cane like stripes. And then later on I also went around it with the red marker again, and then I added in the dates for the week, and I screwed this up, but that's okay, I fixed it. And then I used the gold pen to add some doodles around there, and I also added another little candy cane stripe at the bottom. For all of the days of the week, I used this thicker tip of a gold marker and wrote that all in this cursive type font. And then for all of the actual dates, I used the same red marker and also added some more stickers and doodles, and that is the completed first weekly spread of December. So I am really happy with how this turned out, and I'm super excited to continue to make more December themed spreads throughout the month. So that is the end of this video. Here is just a quick little flip through of all of my spreads for December. And I guess the next bullet journal video that you will see from me is either my 2019 complete bullet journal flip through or my 2020 planning video for my bullet journal for next year, which is very exciting. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you comment down below which spread I created in this video, which one was your favorite. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.